I'm Gregoire Audibert, co-founder of Winter Mushroom, and today we will talk about digital signage and why data is critical to this business. So, as you can see, this is my face, but before I got old and fat. But why are you listening to me today? I have been a consultant for Big Five, I have been a consultant for smaller startups, and now I created my own Winter Mushroom. And the key point of all these companies is they are actually data-driven businesses, and I have an extensive experience on how data will bring certainty to your business, to your work, and how you should use it to make your business more profitable. So I want to start by a simple statistics. Today we have two kinds of retailers. We have the brick and mortar, traditional one, and we have e-commerce. And despite the COVID and despite all the growth in the e-commerce, what we see is that the French customers actually are spending more money, way more, into the brick and mortar than in the e-commerce. I know what you will say, French people are a bit different, but I think we can safely assume that these statistics can be considered globally, or at least in Europe. So why do I say that? It's because I want to make a link with the data tools and the tools you have to do marketing in the both sides. Let's start by the e-commerce tooling. So how do you collect data in e-commerce? First thing is your own data, obviously. So you have a loyalty program, which is very nice because obviously if the customers want to have his delivery at home, he will have to register to your loyalty program. And you have the CRM that allows you to actually match what the customer is buying with who he is. So that's very convenient. Then you have the third-party data, which come from the cookies. I know Google abandoned them, but then you have the cohort analysis, which is kind of the same thing. And you have data management platform, which is people selling your data to other people. So it's another source of data, which is very efficient. And at last, you have the web analytics on your e-commerce website, which are going to help the retailer to understand all your customer journey within his website. And it's also very insightful information. And why is it insightful? Is because all this data, which is almost real time, will give you a way to leverage it directly for marketing during his customer journey on the website. First thing is retargeting. Actually, it's not exactly real time, but let's say if you forget to buy something, but it's still in your cart, you will receive an email very soon saying, hey, did you forget to click on buy? What's happening to you? Would you like to have some discount maybe? So yeah. Then you have the cross-selling. It's Amazon, I think, that invented this beautiful technique where you buy a chair and some ads at the bottom will tell you, don't you want a blanket to put on your knees? Because, other people do that, so you should. Then you have AI-triggered audience, which is based on first or third-party data, but they will help you understand who in your customer database is able to actually buy the stuff you want to push. So you have an item and you don't exactly know whom in your emailing base you should send it. They will tell you and you will be able to target these people. And obviously you have omni-channel campaigns where you target people on the web, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, everywhere. So what we can say from this is in the e-commerce, you have ways to collect data very easily and leverage it almost instantly. In the brick and mortar, actually, it may seem that we have a lot of tools, but they are a bit more disparate. For the data collection, you have obviously the loyalty program, but it's not on the whole customer base. It's based on people that want to register. You have heat maps you can create from beacons in your store, from face recognition. And then you also have cameras that you can use to make face detection or recognition depending on your stand on GDPR. But this gives you information which is difficult to match to what is happening in the store at a T moment. You'll be able to send emailing campaigns or even slower flyers, but it's way after the guy left the store. You can give him coupons, but usually it's done when he is at the cashier desk, so it's a bit far also in the customer journey. And you have the slowest thing you can do is shop fitting. So you see on your heat maps that the people are not going in this place because I don't know. So you will change your shop fitting to address this issue. My point being, e-commerce is growing very fast. That's true, but it doesn't mean, and the studies doesn't show that it's going to replace brick and mortar. And my point is actually all the big transformation, digital transformation organized by the brand are usually made on the e-commerce part, especially with COVID, which is logical. But we shouldn't forget that the actual money goes into the brick and mortar. And one way of making digital transformation in the brick and mortar is by using digital signage. So why is digital signage good for your digital transformation, and why is it a good idea to do that? Well, it's because it's almost the same as the e-commerce tools. It can give you the data and the leverage at the same time and all along your customer journey, which is very powerful with the new technologies. So what is digital signage actually? So we'll start by the beginning, which is content. So a nice content obviously is something that will create an emotion, an inspiration to your customers. And you need to be sure that when you create something, it's meant for specific targets that will recognize itself inside of this visual or video and have a nice feeling about it. Second thing in the digital signage is the media player. So it's a little computer or box or even USB key in sometimes that you connect to your screens to actually make the link between the content you are creating or you have created and what people will see. This is necessary to have a good management system on all your network, and that's actually one of the key. Then you have the screens. Obviously, you need to have something to display on. Before it was paper, but it wasn't very dynamic, did it? So yeah, we need to have very high quality screen if you want to make a nice digital signage project, because else the quality will go down very fast. And yes, they are more expensive, but they will stay for 57 hours up, which is quite huge. The last part is the network or the SaaS platform. This will allow you to connect all your media players and screens together and make it manageable from anywhere and anybody who wants, actually, which is very powerful. You don't have to do the logistics of taking an USB key, putting some content inside, then going to your every screen, sticking in it. So it's very long and you don't want to do that. So from what I said before, I think you all understood that the creation of a digital signage network is quite expensive. So at the moment you decide to go, like the guy here, which is about to make it rain, what you don't want to is lose your money. You want to have a clear comprehension of what is going to happen with this digital signage and a clear return on investment. And that is where actually the data will help you to achieve that. So how do you collect data for digital signage? So I will speak generally, but there is solutions where the data can be collected along in the solution of Signage, or you can have third-party software that you can plug in your system. First thing will be to have a loyalty program and a CRM, which most of you already have. This is because you need to understand what your customers are actually looking for, and that is from their actual behavior, I mean buying behavior, within the shop. And then you will need a face classification device that will allow you to understand who is actually in the shop and when. It's a bit similar to the web cookie in the fashion that in real time you will know who is where in your shop, and that is very powerful to match with your loyalty program. So if we go to the leverage, how should you use this data to actually make it powerful and enhance the results of your digital signage? The first step is obviously the content triggering. You want to display the content you made for girls between 18 and 25 to, weirdly, girls between 18 to 25. And that is what it will help you to do. The fact that you know who is in the store at what moment in front of which screen allows you to display this specific message in this specific screen and show it to the right people, whereas in another part of the store you will have a different item or different services that will be shown to different people, but you will be sure both message and people match at every time, and that will ensure that they feel valued and they feel well in the store because they can project themselves and the ambience is adapting to what they are looking for. Then obviously you need to measure. So with the same technology you will be able to measure metrics such as the attention time, the dwell time, and understand if your customers are reacting properly or at least as expected to the content you created. And it's a bit the React part I'm arriving to. You want to take a close look at these metrics because when the people that are planned into a segment of population that were supposed to like, let's say for instance Coke, actually doesn't look at the ads, it means that maybe something is wrong and you need to either change the segment and show your ad to somebody else, which is more interested in it, or to go see your designer and tell him to make another visual that will better fit the people you are trying to attract. Then the step everybody wants to know about here is the return on investment. Actually, you can cross data between your signage system and your cashier test system, and this will tell you if actually the money you spent on installing the signage, on creating the content, on having people working on that is actually worth the money. Is the sales really increasing? Are people looking longer at the content you paid for more money actually? That will give you all this information, and this will be used obviously to react again and to make a better use of your signage system. At last, if you are a multi-brand company, you can as well make trade marketing. So you contact the brand and propose them to invest into ads inventory at your place. Before you would say that because you could go to the brand and say, okay, I have a supermarket and I see 1 million person a day, so probably you want to show ads at my place because a lot of people will see them. But now advertising is not working that much like this. You should go to see them and say, okay, tell me to whom you should you would like to show your ads, and I will show it to exactly this kind of people and ensure you will have a maximum benefits from this information. And if I go up again into the return on investment, you can even calculate if for every euro that the brand spent in trade marketing, the sales are upgraded from a higher amount, and then you become something very, very profitable for the brand, and you are better than the competition in trade marketing, and actually they end up paying for your digital signage network and increasing your benefits as well, because obviously people buy the stuff at the place they are, which are your stores. So I'll give you also some perspective, some data actually, on the experience we had with content triggering. So just content triggering, matching the people we think are interested to a specific product to an ad with this product presented. No promotion, only a catchphrase, a picture of the product, and a simple price, and that's it, no discount. We tried up to 77 items displayed in the screen, which is obviously a lot, because usually you have 10 items or services running in a circle, and then everybody sees them. And here you have 77 items, but only the right people see them. And it increased the sales of this item for 78% of this item. So on 77 items, 78% saw their sales increase. And the average increase was 2 times the sales they do before making the ad. So we can see it's pretty effective in a pure sales point of view. However, I want to speak of the graph on the right, and it is about the content creation, which is usually left a little bit behind. The thing is, if you are going to invest in some digital signage software or installation, you will need to invest as well on the content creation team in your company or consultants that will do a proper work for you, because it needs to be changed quite often. In the gray areas, you see the dwell time of people that are in the segment of the ads, and in red, people that passed at the same time but weren't planned to see it. As you can see, at the beginning of the campaign, people are looking for it for about 4 seconds, something like that, which is very good. An average dwell time is 3 seconds for ads, so 4 seconds is amazing. And the other people who are not interested or shouldn't be are looking at it for 2.5 seconds. If you go 2 weeks after that, the curve is totally different. The people that were supposed to like the content are actually looking a little bit less than the other one, 2 seconds, something like that. And this shows that if you push too much the same message to the same people, they get bored, like you and me actually, and then they stop looking at it and they doesn't pay attention anymore. So it means you have to, depending of course of the traffic of your shop, you have to have a creation team that is able to upgrade the content of your screen regularly to give some freshness to what is shown and entertain the customers as well. All right.